Today is April 12th, 2018. In the media today, we got this story about a 16-year-old boy who was trapped in a minivan, called 911 using voice dial, and then wound up dying. Apparently the police were too late, and he died due to asphyxiation. So, if you look at the details of the story, it's just so very strange. They even list out the text of his first 911 call, and he never even tells the dispatcher where he is. All he says is that I'm in trouble and I'm going to die soon, but he never thinks to shout out where he is. And there's just something very wrong about this whole story. The cops came out and said that the reason he died was because he was trapped in the third row bench seat, and this is called positional asphyxiation. Well, if you're new to this channel, what you need to understand is that mainstream media crafts their news stories by the numbers. Whether or not this is a real sacrifice or if this is a hoax, I don't know for sure, but this is some sort of planned, staged event, without a doubt. So, when we're talking about this asphyxiation issue, what this boils down to is the number 33, and this is the media's favorite number to stack in these hoaxes that they run. But it's also a number of sacrifice. This language of letters and numbers, called Gematria or Gematria, this all traces back to the Bible. And in the Bible, the most significant event, perhaps, in the New Testament is the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. In the alphabetic order, this sums to 303, and also using Jewish gematria, which is based on the Latin alphabet, this sums to 303 using that method as well. Different arrangements, same result. Now in numerology, it's important to understand that we ignore the zeros. So this essentially reflects a 33, and it was 33 years old when Jesus was crucified. There's another form of gematria called reverse ordinal. This is simply the alphabetic order flipped around, so Z is 1 and A is 26. Well, in this method, the reason of death, the cause of death that they give us, positional asphyxiation, sums to 303. So it's already a suspicious explanation, and now we're given a 33 on top of that. Now, the first thing I actually want to look at in my post is the name of the school that this happened at. So I just mentioned this Jewish gematria, and this is an ancient form. This goes way back before the English alphabet, talking about Latin, thousands of years. And the way this cipher works, 1 through 9, 10 through 90, 100 through 900, is based on the ancient Hebrew gematria and Greek isopsephy charts. So this kid was found in the parking lot of Seven Hills High School, and using this method, Seven Hills sums to 987. And this is an important number. It's a Fibonacci number, just the 16th Fibonacci number. And 16, this happened on April 10th, 2018. When you add up the numbers in that date, it sums to 16, and this was a 16-year-old who died. Now, the reason I find this to be especially significant is because when you write out the number 16 using English reduction, it's one of just two numbers when spelled out that sums to 33. So this sums to 96 in the alphabetic order. How we get this 33 is by reducing each double-digit number to a single digit by adding the digits together. So for instance, M, the 13th letter, 1 plus 3 equals 4. So an M would become 4. And there's only one other number that does this. It's the number 90 that sums to 33. So again, 16 equals 33, and this ties into the whole crucifixion ritual. Now I want to point out how often they mention the number 911 in this article. The Ohio teen calls 911, the help doesn't find him. They mention it a lot in here. Now, in a method of gematria called satanic gematria, which begins on the number 36, Satanic Gematria equals 666 here. In this method, ritual human sacrifice sums to 911. And of course, I don't think it's a coincidence. We had the greatest terror attack on U.S. soil on the date 9/11. This date corresponds with the date Tisha B'Av on the Jewish calendar. Tisha B'Av equals 9/11. But that's a whole other video in and of itself. Now, speaking of ritual human sacrifice, look at the update time that they gave on this article. Here, let's look at it on the right. Updated at 3:29 p.m. Well, if you were paying close attention, you would have seen the 329 in the reverse gematria of ritual human sacrifice. Again, the article updated at 3:29. And it's interesting that this occurred on the date April 10th. Just the word ritual on its own has a Jewish gematria of 410, a lot like the date 4/10. I know I said zeros are ignored, but it is interesting when it lines up with the zero as well. So, using reduction gematria, here we're looking at full reduction. Well, in single reduction, this is where the S is worth 10, because we only reduce it once. 1 plus 9 equals 10. Ritual sacrifice sums to 82. And the reason this stands out is because minivan sums to 82 in the alphabetic order, where we simply number the alphabet 1 through 26. They're saying he died in a minivan. And this minivan was in Cincinnati, Ohio. And using the reverse alphabetic order, fully reduced to single digits, same as the full reduction method, just using the reverse order, Cincinnati, Ohio also equals 82. So fitting for a minivan death to occur on this date. Also, the date of this death, 4 plus 10 plus 2 plus 1 plus 8, this is called the life lesson number. This sums to 25, and the word death equals 25, reverse reduction. The word death also has double gematria in various methods of 52, and this date also with 52 full numerology. So they said that the vehicle he was found in was a 2002 Honda Odyssey. And I don't try to look at this cipher too often, but we look at this in many other ciphers already. Ritual human sacrifice in the Latin order sums to 202. And this is a 2002 Honda Odyssey that's in this story, right? And let's type out Honda Odyssey. In the alphabetic order, you get 154. And in the reverse method, you get 170. Ritual sacrifice equals 154, and just the word alone, sacrifice, equals 170 reverse. So if the numbers of this story don't point to something fishy, then you really need to have your head checked, because the media is playing all sorts of games with us, and it's getting kind of annoying. It's been annoying for a while. What I want to point out too is Honda Odyssey equals 55 and 53 in the reduction methods, and this kid's name was Kyle. Kyle equals 53 and 55. The word sacrifice using the S exception equals 55. And again, we're looking at Seven Hills High School. Seven Hills equals 55 in the reverse reduction. Also notice this 44, like the word kill equals 44. As far as the 125, this is another number related to sacrifice, again, in various forms of gematria. Also interesting is that this happened on the 100th day of the year. And when you use all reduction exceptions with master numbers, Seven Hills equals 100. So across the board, relevant gematria for this whole strange ritual. Cincinnati, a city coded with time, see my post. I got links to, that explain the Saros cycle, the Metonic cycle, why those numbers are significant. There's more sacrifice numbers here too when you look at his name. The name of the high school even, Seven Hills High School equals 103. And then one last thing to look at, the schools they choose for these rituals for the national news always has interesting gematria as we've been seeing, but let's type out Seven Hills High School in full and see what kind of numbers we get. Now, if you follow my work, you might recognize some of these numbers. Seven Hills High School equals 229. It's the 229th verse of Revelation in which the number of the beast is revealed as 666. And speaking of the beast, Seven Hills High School in the reverse order equals 311. And the beast in Jewish gematria equals 311. Of course, the mark of the beast traces back to the circle, ties back into the gematria of Cincinnati, Ohio as well. So that'll wrap it up for the numbers on this video. I just want to point out that if you want to learn more about this gematria code, Zachary K. Hubbard's finished book is up in PDF format. I'm going to leave a couple links to various websites you can purchase that at, either through Patreon or Etsy. It's time to start spreading this knowledge and let people know about what the mainstream media truly is and the twisted games it's playing over our heads. Thanks again for watching, Truth Seekers. God bless.